What up, Cucks? It's your boy, the hater, up in this piece. And we're going to talk about Monday Night Raw a little bit, all right? First of all, I watched Monday Night Raw in its entirety for the first time in a long time. I was just bored, so I put it on. I always DVR it, you know what I mean? I always record it, but I never watch it, right? But today, I decided to watch it. Or yesterday, I should say, I decided to watch it. Now, with that being said, some parts are actually quite interesting. Like, obviously, I skipped all the stuff that has to do with women, mainly because I've been doing it for so long that I don't know who the women are. You know what I mean? Like the damage control part, like I watched that because I'm enjoying the damage control storyline. But like nowadays, they'll be like on NXT, they'll be like Lyra Valkyrie versus like some other person whose name I don't know, and I'm like, oh, I couldn't give a shit who wins or loses. I don't even know which one's which. So it is what it is, right? But the show itself was kind of weird, and it was weird because nothing really happened as usual, right? Cody Rhodes once again doesn't wrestle, right? He comes, and I understand this time it's excused. He won the Rumble. He comes out, he's gonna bore us to death with another promo about how Dusty would be proud. He starts crying mid-promo, right? Which in my opinion makes him just disgusting as a human being. Like, I really hope Roman Reigns just squashes this guy. Like, it's at this point it's becoming ridiculous. I don't want to see this man cry again. Like, my father, I've seen my dad cry one time, motherfuckers. One time, and it was when my grandpa died, right? And my dad cried for literally 3 seconds. He cried, then he composed himself, right? So that's the kind of man that I like. I like people that don't cry. I don't like these pussy-ass motherfuckers like Cody Rhodes, who's out there crying every week. I don't know what I would do without you, the fans. Like, shut your mouth. I don't want to hear it, Blondie. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, the point is, he comes out, and luckily, Seth Rollins cuts him off because I don't want to hear another, my father believed in me promo. I'm tired of this fucking asshole, right? But then Seth Rollins cuts a pretty good promo, but the substance of the promo was stupid. As I said in my previous video, which was a twofer from last night, cuckolds. That being said, Seth Rollins basically tells him, hey, please pick me. You know, Roman Reigns ain't shit, right? He only shows up every couple of months. Yes, so what? So does Cody, by the way. You know what I mean? Like, and then that's the thing that pissed me off. Like, at a certain point, just the lying is getting out of hand. Seth Rollins is like, me and you, Cody, we've been at this every week. No, you haven't. Cody Rhodes barely wrestles. Cody Rhodes barely fucking wrestles, motherfuckers. He'll be out there, like, I think he's had like 8 matches this year. You know, like 8 matches on Raw this year. Yeah, maybe a few more, but not much more. And when I say this year, you smart asses, I don't mean like 2024. I mean the last year, obviously. This year he's had 0 matches, I believe. But that's not here or there. The point is, cuts. The entire premise is stupid and it's flawed. And Seth Rollins' title just doesn't feel like a title, right? Cody Rhodes says, I'll think about it. And he had this sad look on his face, like he's actually contemplating it. And for some reason, it's impacting him emotionally. You know, like, this is why, you know, sometimes once in a while, WWE will hit a home run with a wrestler. One example like this was Batista, right? When Batista betrayed Triple H, it was all business. There was no nonsense. He just beat the shit out of Triple H, did the thumbs down. He didn't cry about it. He didn't moan about it. He didn't piss about it. He just went there and he kicked ass. It was as simple as that. The storyline was, I'm coming for you, motherfucker. You can't avoid me any longer. That's all it was. It wasn't anything like, oh, my father's legacy is on the line. Like people forget, you know, just like I said in my last video, that Undertaker was largely a mid-carder, which nobody thinks of him that way, but he's largely a mid-carder. Like, Dusty Rhodes was definitely a mid-carder, motherfuckers. He was not like a real main eventer. Like, in the days of Hogan and Ric Flair, he was not Hogan or Ric Flair. He was not a jobber, but he was a mid-card jobber. You know? He's just like his son. So this is like, oh, Cody, my father's legacy. Your father's legacy is to be a jobber. He's never WWE champion as far as I know, cucks. But anyways, I digress. The show goes on, and then once again, the characters are starting to be made to look stupid, right? First of all, Judgment Day has a pretty good match against DIY, right? I thought the match was all right for what it was. Predictable, but pretty good. And then they attack R-Truth afterwards, right? JT McDonough just doesn't fit. I don't know why, it just doesn't fit. They attack R-Truth and The Miz as well, right? And this obviously means that we're going to see the Awesome Truth once again. And I think that should be a main event match. Not a main event match, obviously. I'm sorry. I misspoke, cuckolds. But a WrestleMania match. Miz and Truth versus, Judgment Day, right? However that's going to play out, right? I don't know, maybe. And then that also gives an opportunity for the next night, or maybe even that night, for Damian Priest to cash in, right? I don't know how that's going to work out. I don't particularly give a damn, to be honest. But the Awesome Truth rules, right? The Miz is awesome. The Miz is like, every year, I like The Miz more and more. Like, I learn to appreciate it more and more, especially in a company filled with people like Kofi Kingston, who had a match with Gunther that nobody cared about. Like the match was complete garbage. I had to start fast forwarding it. It ends with Gunther doing his shitty powerbomb. It's like the worst powerbomb I've ever seen in my life. It doesn't look like it hurts at all, right? If you compare that to the Batista bomb or the Last Ride, it's like, it's such a basic move, you know? He does like a SmackDown, you know, like a WWE SmackDown, like the first game level powerbomb. It's just a shitty powerbomb. He does it. He pins that cuckold Kofi in a completely meaningless throwaway match, right? Then the other two jobbers from Imperium attack the New Day, and I'm hoping for Big E to come back, but quite honestly, like, I couldn't give a shit about Big E, Kofi Kingston, Xavier Woods, or Imperium. In my opinion, they all belong at AEW at this point. I mean, Kofi Kingston, you can keep him around just because at this point he's like breaking records and he's got a legacy. So, you know, keep him around, but the other people just get rid of them. Like, it didn't work out. You know, like Xavier Woods, who there was something there, Big E, there was something there. It's just another case of it didn't work out, right? It's that simple. It didn't work out. They tried, they failed. Xavier Woods is a detriment to this company. He doesn't make money for this company. He loses money for this company, right? And, you know, it is what it is. I understand that most people are going to lose money for the company, and that's part of the business structure. But nevertheless, I don't know. I don't like the fact that Xavier Woods is still there. But anyways, whatever. Like, it's not like, Giovanni Vinci's ever going to draw a dime, whatever, right? Then, afterwards, there's like a match. It involves Asuka and the other one, the tag team, the women's tag team champions. I'm sure I'm skipping a bunch of crap, but it really feels like nothing else happened, to be honest. Like, what else happened? That's it, I think. Oh, Drew McIntyre comes out. Oh, CM Punk. How did I almost forget, like, basically the reason for this video? CM Punk comes out, and, you know, while I don't like CM Punk, the hater would never wish injury on anybody, right? And more importantly than that, in this context, I think the injury's fine. It might even be like a fake one because he was still taking bumps and stuff, but or at least an exaggerated one. But the problem is, like, it's not even just the injury. It's the fact that, like, you know, I do recognize that this is CM Punk's dream, right? He wants the main event WrestleMania, and I think that's the dream of the guy that plays CM Punk as well. So the hater wouldn't be against that, you know? Like, the hater is all about dreaming. You know, maybe the hater will call himself the dreamer from now on, cucks. But the point is, I also don't give a rat's ass. That's the issue I have here, right? Like, I want CM Punk to be a happy person. I want Cucky Rhodes, R-Truth, fucking the new interviewer girl. I want them all to be happy people in their lives. But I don't care enough, right? So, and that's kind of the issue here. CM Punk's like, oh, there's always next year. Good for you. Bounce. You know what I'm saying? There's this weird thing that we have in society now where people feel the need to just air out their feelings, right? It's one thing to do it for comedy. It's another thing to do it to criticize something or even to complain, honestly. And it's another thing to do it to just make yourself sympathetic to others. There's nothing worse and there's nothing less masculine than that. And that's what CM Punk was doing, you know? He's out there being like, well, it failed now, but I'll never give up. That's great, bro. Why do we need to know that shit? Right? Why do we, like people don't ask this of themselves anymore, right? And this is like a point towards kayfabe, but this idea that people have to suffer out loud. Like, fucking suffer in silence. You know what I'm saying? Like, why are you burdening the rest of us with your horse shit, right? That's the school of thought that I come from. If you have a problem, find someone to talk to if that's what you think is best. But consider the fact that when you do that, right, like, people might resent you. It's part of the bargain, right? You're gonna upload all your problems into someone else. They might resent you, right? Now, I don't care about CM Punk, so he's not uploading any problems, but it's like, why is the character of CM Punk doing this? Right? Like, there's all this shit that you see all the time. People are like, you know what? I'm going to do things my way. Okay, just do it your way. Why do you have to first say you're going to do it your way? Just do it. You know what I'm saying? Just do what you say you're going to do and don't say it anymore because nobody wants to hear it. You understand me? And the hater can learn from that as well. Don't get me wrong. The hater does talk a lot of shit. You know? But the point is what the point is, right? People are pissed off and they're upset that CM Punk isn't going to be at WrestleMania. And Drew McIntyre comes out and cuts what I think is one of the best promos in his career, where he was like, he feigns that he cares, and then afterwards he's like, I prayed for this, right? I prayed that you would hurt yourself out of WrestleMania, which I thought was, you know, excessively cruel, which was good, because that's the kind of direction that the character needs to go. Then subsequently at the main event, which is ridiculous if this is a main event, Drew McIntyre beat Sami Zayn, who for some reason is still in the company, stealing a paycheck every month. But other than that, I don't think anything else happened. So, you know, no news was further. Oh, no, sorry. There was one other thing I forgot to say. Andrade is being signed And Adam Pearce, he's another one whose stock was raised. How? He didn't do anything. He just went to AEW, was a jobber there, made absolutely no impact, and all of a sudden people were like, oh, Andrade's back. Oh my God. They had this ridiculous moment where Nick Aldis is there and with Adam Pearce, and Nick Aldis is like, oh, I can't believe you stole Andrade from under our nose, basically, right? And Adam Pearce is like, hey, early bird gets the worm, basically, right? And then Nick Aldis gets a call from Braun Breaker, and that makes like Adam Pearce a little jealous, right? And it's like, but of course they're not exactly saying that they're equal, but there is an implication. There's a small implication there that by getting the phone call from Braun Breaker, like Nick Aldis, also known as Magnus, is getting even with Adam Pearce, as if to say that Braun Breaker is on the same level as Andrade. Braun Breaker, if done correctly, is going to be one of the biggest stars in the history of this company. Andrade, if done perfectly, is going to be another jobber like Santos Escobar that nobody's ever going to give a shit about, right? Andrade sucks. I mean, and I was an Andrade fan, but he sucks. He still hasn't learned English. It's been like 10 years. Fucking learn the language of the country you work in, especially if you're going to work in a field that where talking is the most important part. He seems to be under the impression that his lucha libre bullshit moves, running knee, like that's gonna get it done. No, learn perfect English. You know what I'm saying? A lot of wrestlers that are Hispanic, and all of the wrestlers that are Hispanic that have done well, have spoken perfect or near perfect English, right? Like, you have like Rey Mysterio, obviously perfect English. He's from San Diego. Eddie Guerrero was from El Paso. He didn't speak perfect English, but he spoke very good English. Like he spoke English fluently, right? Chavo, I mean, it's hard to say Chavo's a success, but you understand what I'm saying. A lot of the wrestlers that are Hispanic, also the ones that have had success, have spoken English. So Andrade can kiss my ass. I hope, I mean, not hope because this is a human being, but I know, I shouldn't even say hope. I know this is going to be a complete waste of money. He's going to go after like LWO or the other group of Latinos that are led by Santos Escobar now. And it's going to be like, oh, who is he going to side with? Like anyone gives a flying fuck. It's like, can you imagine what it's like to be Rey Mysterio? And be like, wow, like, I know I'm at the tail end of my career, but can you please surround me with some people that are not complete and utter jobbers? Right? Like, it's like they take Rey Mysterio, they're like, oh, here's every jobber of Hispanic origin. They're going to be in a storyline with you. And then the best part of it is like, they might as well just look at him in the face and just be like, look, we tried with all these guys and they all failed. Angel Garza, complete failure. Humberto Carrillo, one of the worst failures of all time. Santos Escobar, complete failure. Joaquin Wilde, complete failure. Raul Mendoza, or whatever his name is now, Cruz del Toro, who is my favorite one of these guys, also is a complete failure. Zelina Vega, complete failure. Like, who else was left? Like, everyone is a complete failure. Andrade, complete failure. Like, whatever his name is, Dragon Lee, complete failure. He's wrestling some jobber called Obafemi. This guy's never going to make it. I don't even know. I don't even need to know what he wrestles like because I've never seen him wrestle. I just saw a picture with him after he won the title and his name. That's all I need to know. It's the name of a jobber and he has the appearance of I think he's black, but he's if I'm thinking of the same guy, but he has a Bull Dempsey thing going on, so I don't give a flying fuck. He needs to go as well, right? Dragon Lee's already over. It's already a wrap, cucks. So what I'm getting at here is Rey Mysterio is a legend. Everyone else there is just like kicking rocks, So the fact that they hired Andrade, I think is a complete waste of everyone's time. But that's where we're at now with wrestling, cucks. And that being said, take care of yourselves and go fuck yourselves.